Superman the Animated Series was a cartoon based on the DC Comics character of Superman, which was broadcasted for a total of 3 seasons from 1996 through 2000. In the Season 2 final 2-part episodes 27 and 28, Little Girl Lost introduced Supergirl into the DC Animated Universe. While Supergirl had sporadic appearances in the 3rd season of Superman the Animated Series, she really came into her own as a character in the Justice League cartoon broadcasted from 2001 through 2004 and later Justice League Unlimited from 2004 through 2006, with the Justice League series bringing a whole wider range of characters from the DC Comics universe into animated form. With relation to the Justice League in particular, one of the noticeably absent characters at the time was that of Power Girl. Theories have emerged that due to Superman the Animated Series only getting 3 seasons, and these seasons not necessarily having enough time or plot to further develop Supergirl within the cartoon, there were no real demands or reasons for the inclusion of Power Girl into the DC animated universe at the time. The question if Power Girl should be introduced was wondered about by viewers of the cartoon series as well as screenwriters of the series as well. The character of Galatea actually somewhat answers the question by bringing in a customized version or simplified version of Power Girl, but somewhat different for the adapted circumstances of the DC animated universe of the time. The premise of Galatea were that the details of her origin were in that Superman the Animated Series where Darkseid brainwashed and controlled Superman to nearly conquer the Earth in Metropolis but was defeated. This invasion by Apocalypse's forces led by Darkseid forced humanity to realize that Superman could easily destroy the Earth as well as protect it. Due to the plot of the series, Supergirl's DNA was secretly extracted from her and later used to create a clone of her. This clone was named Galatea, not Power Girl at all. Unlike the comic origin or source material, Galatea was essentially an aged version of Supergirl. Artificially, her personality was also adopted and changed from the respectful and kind Supergirl to being that of the ruthless and cold Galatea. What was interesting is that she shared a psychic link with Supergirl while asleep, experienced and lived Galatea's training and mission assignments to Supergirl, who relived it and experienced it and originally thought of it as a dream. Eventually, through circumstances depicted in Justice League Unlimited, Supergirl eventually uses the dreams and confronts Galatea later on, but is technically a more experienced fighter as her powers are more honed and developed through artificial engineering and combat training. It even came to the extent that Galatea simply desired to kill Supergirl to erase that aspect of her origin from existence. Supergirl later defeats Galatea in combat, and it's hinted that she later died from the injuries suffered in the battle by Supergirl or was brain dead from the injuries in the fight. Viewers of the series and fans of the comics were mixed with this reception to the character of Galatea, as that was, as mentioned, the DC Animated Universe's version of Power Girl. And some believed at the time that rather than a custom created character for the series similar to Power Girl, the real Power Girl should have been introduced properly, or not at all. It's also interesting to notice that Galatea's appearance was similar to that of Power Girl, counterpart to Supergirl, with the costume being nearly exactly the same, except for the red cape and blue gloves and boots that were changed in terms of color or appearance or removed altogether. Due to the circumstances with the character, it's likely that in the future possibly Power Girl will be most likely introduced in a more similar way to the comic version, rather than an adapted version solely for the particular series at the time. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because fans wanted to see one character, but because of circumstances, another was created instead.